If you're tired of paying for subscription annotation tools that fail when your Wi-Fi is a bit sketchy, or if you're struggling to get deep student engagement with digital text, then this tool is for you. So this is the Close Reading Companion, or what I like to just simply call a simple digital text editor that is a 100% offline, zero subscription annotation tool. And so it runs as a single file in any web browser, which means the magic of close reading doesn't stop just because the internet does. Now, let's dive right in and see how this works, covering the features, the workflow, and the one crucial rule for your students. This tool is split into two parts, the text canvas on the left and annotation notes sidebar on the right. To get started, you simply paste your text here. This could be a reading passage, a poem, a section from a novel, or a primary source document. Now, notice that the tool automatically strips out complex formatting like strange fonts, tables, or colors. It just gets rid of any what we call rich text formatting, where there's all this strange, obtuse code that's behind your copying and pasting of text, which is why it has to go sometimes into a plain text editor. And that's what the left-hand side is about. It's a plain text editor that ensures a clean, distraction-free reading experience for your students. If you need to start fresh with the new text, use the red Clear All Data button at the top. But be careful, that button is the nuclear option. So if you're trying to just really make everything just go debris all over the place, then that is what the red Clear All Data button is for. It just clears up everything. The secret to rich student analysis is giving them focused tools. Up here, you have 5 distinct ways to mark the text. We call this the Annotation Toolkit. Before your students select any, they must choose the tool first. So let's look at the 5 options and how you can assign them for deep reading. So the first one is the highlight yellow selection. This is your main evidence marker. So you use it to capture key quotes, main ideas, or textual evidence for essays, or really anything that you want to. You're going to hear me say that for any of these markings, but this sort of gives you a guide in terms of how each of these markup tools can be used. The next one is the circular text tool, which has a red border around it. And you can use this to trap unfamiliar or powerful vocabulary. So this is great for building student vocabulary in their notebooks. The third is underlining, which is it has a blue line to it. And I like to use this for structural elements like topic sentence or paragraphs or thesis statements in an article. The next is your question mark annotation marking. So this is fantastic for expressing confusion, curiosity, or making predictions. If something is ambiguous, you can use the question mark tool for clarification for later. And lastly, you have the superscript, which comes in a green box when you actually make this annotation. And this is a quick tagging tool. You can assign numbers or codes here. And keep in mind that even if you copy and paste the text here, the left-hand side is always going to be in edit mode. You can, even though you had a text there, you can always add your own notes, and you can use, then this would be where the superscript comes in. You can just go ahead and add like a number, the letter S for symbolism, the letter T for theme, or a whole word, and it'll just create it as a superscript next to your primary text. Now we're getting down for the core workflow. So this is how students turn their mark into a meaningful note. So now we're looking at creating an annotation. So I have the highlight annotation piece selected. So I'm going to select this phrase here. Now we see that the note modal pops up instantly, or it's really a pop-up box, but the technical term is modal box. The selected text is visible at the top, so the student always remembers what they're writing about. Now, watch the text on the left become highlighted and the note card appear instantly on the right. So here's a teacher tip. You can also leave the note box blank. If a student just wants to highlight a quote to come back to, they can click Save Annotation without typing, and the card will still appear on the right, marked as no note added. So adding a note is just completely optional. So if you want to edit an annotation, if you want to fix a typo or add more depth to their thought, they simply just click on the highlighted text itself. The modal pops back up and is ready to edit. So now we know that mistakes happen. We know that even though I presented the nuclear option, which is the clear all button at the very top, sometimes it's not going to be necessary. We know students are going to make individual mistakes. Heck, as teachers, we're going to make individual mistakes. So, and we also know that students can accidentally highlight half the page and just playing around with it. So up until recently, you had to clear everything, and that's just not the case right now. So when you click on this existing mark, notice the red delete annotation button on the left of the modal box. So if you make a mistake or your student makes a mistake, all they need to do is just click on the actual note and then click the red delete annotation, and poof, it's gone. It's going to instantly disappear. The mark is completely removed from the text and the note card vanishes from the sidebar. So total control, no more frustrations. Now, the note sidebar is your student's dashboard for analysis. So every mark they make is tracked here. Each card tells them the type of mark they made, that is, highlight, and shows a preview of the original text. So if a student clicks on a note card, the text on the left automatically scrolls to show them exactly where the mark is in the passage. This makes the revision and evidence gathering incredibly fast. So now the note card turns blue to show which annotation is currently active. To ensure a smooth experience for you and your students, there are two crucial rules about how this tool reads text. So the first rule is, and this is a golden rule, no overlapping annotations. This is the most important rule. The tool cannot put one annotation box partially inside of another. It's a clean structural tool. Don't try to circle a single word that is already part of a highlighted sentence. Do, however, delete the larger highlight first and then circle the smaller word, or choose an entirely different section of text. Another golden rule, no empty space. This tool is looking for letters. Students must select actual words or punctuation. If they select only blank space, the tool will kindly ask them to try again. Remember, this is not a web app. Once this file is open, they could turn off the Wi-Fi. They could work in a library, on the bus, or in a park. This eliminates the headache of connection issues for good. All they need is access to a browser. While that may not make sense to you, a browser can still be used if they have an HTML file stored locally on their device, and they can simply open it back up within a browser without having any Wi-Fi or any internet connection on at all. So there is no need for any internet work. So this tool is 100% completely offline. Now for the fun part. When an analysis is finally complete, the final step is exporting the work. So any annotations that you have made up until this point, you can export it as a PDF ready to print. And that's very easy to do. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click Export Print button that's at the very top, which opens up our browser's print dialog. From here, students should select Save as PDF from the destination Dropbox. If the yellow highlights don't appear in the preview, so you have to remind your students and remind yourself to check the More settings and tick the box for the background graphics. That brings the yellow highlights right back. So if you want to bring your yellow highlights, you don't see them, don't panic. Just follow these instructions that I'm telling you in this video and in the user's guide, because it's not just in this video, it'll be in the user's guide if you so decide to purchase this, and it'll give you an in-depth sequential chronological order on what you need to do to make your yellow highlights pop back up. While there are many tools out there, either added as a supplement based on some reading program or whatever the case may be that your district has bought, this is a standalone text annotator tool that you will only need for digital close reading. Again, no subscriptions, no internet drama, just reliable, thoughtful student engagement. If you would like this tool, along with other subscription-free digital software tools that are either 100% offline or semi-offline due to some coding regulations and requirements for the tool to really work at its most optimal best, you could purchase them at my EdTech tools and game store for low prices at high convenience, for one-time purchases, for lifetime downloads, and access to version updates as long as the store is active. Link in a pinned comment and description box below.